Welcome back to the Accountability Hour, the podcast where we tackle double standards, self-improvement, and the messy realities of relationships. This is Lynn Watchhorn. How do women gaslight men in relationships? So what is gaslighting? It's when someone manipulates you into questioning your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or even reality. It's a form of psychological control that has you second-guess yourself, doubt your emotions, and sometimes even apologize for things that aren't your fault. Let's be clear here. Anyone can be a gaslighter. Not just women, not just men. But we're going to talk about how women gaslight men because it's not really talked about. One of the biggest gaslighting moves is straight up denying reality. Let's say you bring up something she said or did that upset you. Instead of addressing it, she flat out denies it ever happened. You might hear, "I never said that. You're making things up. You must be remembering it wrong." Convenient, right? Over time, this can really mess with your head and you start wondering, did I imagine that? Am I overreacting? Maybe she's right. And that's exactly what she wants, to make you question your own memory and instincts. If this is something that happens frequently and you find yourself second guessing what you know to be true, you might be getting gaslit. Unfortunately, you might have to get serious about this. Keep receipts, write things down, keep text messages, and if she tries to deny something, stay firm. No, I remember exactly what happened. Don't let her write it off. And I've noticed with some women, if you call them out on this, they'll stop doing it. Some of them are doing it consciously. Now, of course, there's some people out there that no matter how much you call it out or no matter what you do about it, she's just going to keep on doing it. So it's up to you if you want to put up with that. And next, she'll play the victim or flip the script. Let's say you calmly bring up something that's bothering you. Instead of having a mature conversation, she turns it around and makes herself the victim. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about her behavior anymore. It's about how you're hurting her by even bringing it up, which is absolutely ridiculous. Some examples: "I can't believe you're attacking me like this. Why are you making such a big deal out of nothing? You always make me feel like the bad guy." And this might even put you on the defensive, apologizing when you were the one with the valid concern. And that's exactly the point, to dodge accountability. Pay attention that if every time you bring something up, she somehow makes you feel guilty about it. The reality is, you're the one being manipulated. And for some women, you can offer some reassurance. Stick to the facts. Say something like, "I'm not attacking you. I'm bringing up something that's important to me, and I'd appreciate it if you actually listen." Dismissing your feelings. This is emotional invalidation. Men are always told to open up, communicate more, be vulnerable. But what happens when you actually do? A toxic woman will dismiss your emotions and make you feel like they don't matter. Some of these phrases include, "You're being too sensitive," "You're overreacting," "You're acting dramatic." This is a subtle way of telling you that your feelings aren't valid. It makes you feel weak for even having emotions at all. And that's not right. Both people should feel safe and comfortable to bring up their issues in the relationship. And also express their feelings. If you find yourself constantly bottling up those feelings just to avoid being ridiculed, she's gaslighting you. Set a boundary and say, "I'm allowed to have feelings," and dismissing them doesn't make them go away. Next, the silent treatment and withholding affection. She will completely shut down to punish you. If she's upset with you, she might ignore your calls, refuse to talk, or act cold and distant for hours or even days. This then puts you in that position where you end up chasing her for approval, making her feel like she didn't do anything wrong because you want to get back to being, in peaceful moments. If she regularly gives you the silent treatment when things don't go her way, she's emotionally manipulating you. And oftentimes, if women are rewarded with the behavior they want from you, they'll just keep doing it. Don't play that game. Instead of begging her for attention, call it out. If you're upset, we can talk about it, but ignoring me isn't a healthy way to deal with this. What are other things you can do if she's doing these habits? Overall, you need to trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Keep track of the patterns that she's doing. Gaslighting is usually a pattern, not a one-time thing. Set boundaries, call it out, and refuse to engage in these games. You can even seek outside perspective, talk to your friends or your family about it. Now, obviously, tread lightly. You don't want your friends and family to know all your relationship baggage, but if you have someone you can really trust, that you can be honest with and they'll be honest with you in return, someone like this might be extremely helpful in this moment. And then, know when to walk away. If she refuses to change, you don't have to tolerate it. I know all of us might have some of these habits in small quantities, but your lady should be dedicated to improving herself, just like you are. A healthy relationship should make you feel secure, not confused. If you feel like you're constantly questioning yourself, take a step back, see what's going on. If you found this episode helpful, please be sure to be subscribed, leave a review, and follow me on social media.